How's it going, folks? I'm Ben Eggleston. This is GNAR Bike Park, so it must be vlog time again. So we've reached a bit of a milestone in the history of GNAR. At a bit of a point of change. Things are going to be a little bit different from here on in. Anything where anybody kind of reaches a point of change, it can tend to make them look backwards as well as forwards. I'm the same. Last night I found myself checking out some of the old videos and looking how things have progressed. So first of all, let's give you a bit of an update with where we are right now. Injury wise, I've broken collarbone and separated AC. That's a lot better. It's still pretty sore. I'm not at the point of being able to lift stuff yet, and to be honest, I haven't dared get back on a bike yet. Probably a little bit too soon. What am I, like three weeks in? However, you know, that doesn't mean it's just a case of sitting at home all the time. This past week I've been busy. I hired in the big machine, and that's had a couple of benefits. One of the things that I needed to do was sort out some road, and secondly, where this particular bit that I'm stood on now had to be brought through the forest, I had to do some felling work on the trees, and that's left some stumps behind. There were big stumps as well, and a bit tricky to get out. In fact, let's have a look. So as I was saying, injured shoulder, I am left-handed. That did leave me a little bit paranoid that I was going to be sidelined, but you know, the use of the digger, it's on 2 joysticks and the armrests, not actually that bad. One of the things that's really helpful with that is it helps me get stuff like this out. Now, I don't know if these are going to show up size-wise on GoPro, but these stumps were in the way of blocking a clear path to get through. So frankly, they couldn't stay. They had to come out, and they you know, there's no doubt about that they're heavy, and they're an absolute pig to dig out. So the big digger certainly helped with that job. At the end of the day, hiring in something like the digger isn't cheap. I mean, I've just been paid for it now. You don't get much change out of 500 quid. In fact, none. But hey, you know, number one, it eases my paranoia of having to sit around and not being able to do anything. And number two, when you've got it in, you can get jobs done, like get rid of the stumps. There's like this stuff behind me that was way too narrow before, and it can widen it all out. You know, to be fair, it's a kick in the wallet, but it's money well spent because it's things that you need. So that's been, I gave the digger back yesterday. So no, sorry, the day before. So that's been the kind of main thing that's been happening for this week. Hence, spent all the time on the digger, not really been doing any vlogs. So that kind of brings us up to speed right through until right now. Right now I'm at a point where there's a bit of a tide change. Not really a change in attitude, but just a change in the way that I'm feeling about the whole situation. And in the spirit of, it's like 150 of you pressed the subscribe button to the other vlogs below, so you've kind of seen the progression of it all, and in the spirit of that, I've shared how I feel about things with you before, so there doesn't be in my ear, so there doesn't appear, how it hurts when I put my arm up to hold the camera, so there doesn't appear to be any reason to change that, you know, share. I don't really have anything to hide. It's no issues with telling you how I feel. So where I'm at the moment is, in those past videos, again, this is kind of from the feeling that I got from looking over them last night. In the past videos, there was a lot of times where I'd turn the camera off and just think, well, I've said what I want to do, how the hell am I going to do this? And now I'm at a stage where, well, the way I kind of work through that is just by saying, I want to, I can, and I will. And I've got to give a shout out at this point to my beautiful wife Samantha, who has been really supportive along the lines of, look Ben, do you think you can do it? There's a fly on the screen. In saying, look, do you think you can do it, Ben? If you think so, then I think so too, so crack on. So that has kind of led to you know, well, for example, Jesus, just where I've walked to now, all this stuff, I had absolutely no idea how I was going to make this happen. really sort of not a clue. Never driven a digger before. I'd never used a chainsaw before. Really, everything was very, very new. How am I going to do this? Well, I better find a way of doing it, because this is what I want to do. So, having been through that situation and got this far and overcome a lot of challenges that when I say overcome a lot of challenges, there's the physical challenges of actually doing things here, but there's a whole other side of counsellors and paperwork and all those kind of challenges to get over as well. And we are where we are now, so that does make me feel like moving forwards, if there's anything that I want to do, and just to continue with the same mindset of I want to, I can, and I will. And it's simple as that. So I'm feeling quite a bit differently about the whole project now. Looking back on it, would I be as keen to jump in to a job that's clearly going to take 80k with a budget of 20k and just see what I could do to make that happen? Maybe not. I mean, I don't think I've made any secret about this is site number 1. I've got this for 20 years. And as we get further into this, I want to open site number 2. I'll be doing that, making sure that there's I'll allow a lot more budget available to myself, as it is for this one. That's as good as I could come up with. So you crack on and do what you can. But there's been some lessons learned. While I was checking things out last night, and just again this morning while I've been walking around the venue, there is 2 things that I got really, really wrong. When I say 2 things that I got really, really wrong, one of them turned out to be dead good, and the other one turned out to be completely rubbish. So obviously when you're doing something like this, you've got to make plans, and making plans, some of it comes to trying to have some foresight about the whole job, and you have to make some predictions, and you have to kind of decide of, okay, well, if A happens, then B goes hand in hand with that. So one of the thing that I got wrong that turned out to be a real kick in the teeth was when I was first setting up this place, and then recently still as well, I really did truly believe that there would be some support on offer from the mountain bike industry, with the sake of this being a completely different kind of riding place, not a trail centre, and not doing the blue, green, red, black, orange type runs, being on private land, therefore we can build things bigger if we want to. Yada yada, you know the score. You watch the vlogs, and you're on Facebook. But I really thought with that being different, that there would be slight, even small amounts of support coming in. We've got, as I've had this I've contacted most of the people in the industry. There's advertising opportunities. Anyway, not a jot. Absolutely not interesting. That was a bit of a kick in the teeth. It's kind of weird when you find out that, well, most of them just literally don't contact you back. It's kind of rude, but yeah, I'm definitely emailing the right people, I'm definitely contacting the right people, definitely ringing the right people. So they're obviously kind of like just, I don't want to know about that. Can't make them, such as it is. But yeah, that's our mountain biking industry, support all the way. The other thing that I got really wrong, and this one I got wrong on such a more grand scale, was obviously we're still at this moment in time, still prior to opening, although that's coming soon. But I thought a while ago, well, you know what, I better let people know it's happening, and started the Facebook page. And right as of, well, no, actually, let's start off with what I thought was going to go on. I hoped that I'll maybe get to speak to like 500 people. 500 would have been really cool, a good number. And therefore you're telling those 500 people, hey, I'm Ben, I'm building this place. If you like riding bikes, come and ride. What's actually happened is we're at 3,250 people. Every week, the stuff that I put out on Facebook, obviously you guys probably know that there's analytics and everything you can look at in Facebook. Every single week, the posts that I put out have 15,500 views or reads, and there's 3,250 of you. Thank you, first of all. Thank you so much for taking an interest and for showing your support. Let's be honest, whose support really counts here? The industry's or yours, the riders. So thank you so much. That is really awesome. But at the same time, mind-bending. I really didn't expect that to happen at all. I didn't expect those kind of numbers. I'm surprised, I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised. It's cool. I was kind of hoping to get to those kind of numbers after we'd been open for a year. It's very awesome, very awesome. So, you know, it's nice to be able to tell you what's going on and let you know the score. So yeah, there was two things that I got wrong. One full bummer, and the other one absolutely awesome. So what happens next? Well, I have got some burning news to tell you about our trailhead building, and it's going to be situated in the clearing. I can't. Frankly, it's as simple as that. I can't share it and I can't talk about it until the company that I'm working with give me the green light to do so. It is exciting and I'm stoked about it, so you can be sure that I'll be making a vlog about that when it happens and I'm allowed to. But that's in the time frame. That's coming up really soon. In fact it's one of the next jobs on the list to be happening. So yeah, I mean, fingers crossed it's happening soon, so I should be able to tell you about it soon. So where does that put us to right now? Well, I'm 95% there with the, as many of you know I've explained in the past, that I'm putting a full loop, a full road right around, right back from the entrance, all the way up into the car park and all the way back down here. So I've got 95% of that cut through now. Unfortunately, as budget would have it, I've had to give the big digger back. So there is kind of 5% still to do, so which means I'm going to have to sort out my digger. My digger, again, as some of you know, I've managed to bloody roll it down the side of an embankment. As it turns out, engine-wise and hydraulics, didn't mind too much. It was okay. And it needed a little bit of tinkering, but it was all right. Retrospectively, what's actually turned out to be the damage is there's one of the track it really didn't like being tipped upside down, and one of the tracks is goosed and it won't hold tension anymore. So I'm gonna have to, tomorrow I'm gonna have to get the toolkit out, strip the whole side of the track because it's internal to it. I need to get into, so take the rubber track off and then start to pull the track to bits. Sounds daunting, I know. It kind of sounds daunting to me as well. I don't know anything about them, but you know, this is the situation that we're in. And as I've kind of explained it, this is the situation we're in. So just couldn't afford to have the digger in this week, but with their injury needs must, it was the only thing that I could do that, you know, that wasn't actually manual digging and lifting. So I had to do something. You know, selling some advertising and sponsorship to the industry, or a bit of industry support or council support or European regeneration fund, or whatever kind of support that the people talk about is available. It's not. Yeah, that's where this would have come in great. So either would have kept the big digger a bit longer and sent mine into those people that I hired it from to do a service on and sort out. You know, this is the situation. It's where we are. We're doing it on a quarter of the budget that it actually requires to do it. So it's me that, you know, I'm the guy who's well, chief in charge of it all. I'm going to have to be the one that does it. So I have some mechanical knowledge, some, as far as bikes go. So it's, you know, it's time to strip that apart tomorrow and see what we can do. Doing all of this kind of thing, and with all these kind of things happening, I'm not going to be open when I want to be open. I set myself a pretty tight deadline, and you know, these things happen. I'm disappointed about it as much as anybody else, probably more than anybody else. But you know, we're in the situation that we're in. What do I do? We give up. I'm putting in excess of 75 hours a week into this project. Come rain or shine, whether I'm fully fit or injured, it makes no difference. I'm here and I'm doing it, and I'm you know, people didn't think I was going to get this far, so here I am. I'm going to keep going. I'm in this for the long haul for the next 20 years. So we're not far off opening though, and there's more details coming up about that. In fact, actually, let's get some of those rolling now. I need to change hands, but this arm hurts to hold it out. So some of the details on that. So tomorrow, faff on with the digger and see what I can do about it. But tonight I've got to go home and start looking at getting the trail crew organised and getting you guys organised to come up here. Because as I say, the loop road's like that, and I just need to close it up so that it makes a full ring round, and then I can get you up off the road and into here, and we can get working on the trail crew. There's a shed load of groundwork being done on the trails, and when we bring you guys in, it's going to be an easy sort out. And then, as I say, then the cabin comes in and stuff really starts to happen. So there's some, as with everything to do with this, and there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that needs to be done. Paperwork. We are in an age of litigation, unfortunately. That's just the way it is. That's the world that we live in now. So I've got to look into some, it's volunteer work, volunteering on a trail crew, although there might be some perks to it. But it's essentially volunteer work, so it needs, you know, I need to look at volunteer contracts. I need to look at health and safety, what we're going to do for health and safety briefings. Don't worry, I will be keeping them as short as possible, but we are going to have to go through them on a morning for the sake of just that's the way that the game works now. So tonight I've got to look at these contracts and look at the different types of volunteer contracts and what that means, and the health and safety and what that means as well. So we really are now at a point of I'm getting ready to get you guys up here. As I say, once the trails are sorted with the trail crew and we've put that into it, the next thing is to let's go full disclosure. We're not in a position money-wise to be able to employ staff. Again, if the kind of government council funding or whichever funding had been true and had been a real thing, then I would hope to have, at this point, have a little bit of a way in the kitty for some wages and be able to employ the staff and therefore be open 7 days a week. It's just not there, guys. It's not to say that it won't be in the future, but the idea is to get open and be open for weekends. So I'll be here to sort out, and I'll have a couple of helpers as well. But so yeah, date-wise, we're not fully opening on the date that I wanted to, but hey, it's just me, and multi-million-pound companies don't hit the target. Well, anybody who's pre-ordered a video game in the past will know that happens. So it is what it is. That's what we're working with, but we're getting close now, and the stuff that's here and the stuff that we're going to be doing is like nothing else. This whole place is designed with that purpose in mind. So I just can't wait to start making some vlogs that aren't just me on my own in here. We're getting you lot in as well. You know, the trail crew vlogs that we're going to have coming up. We've got the testing of the trails and the features. You want to get some riding into these vlogs. I really kind of want to sort out this shoulder as well, so that I can be riding as well too soon. So it's all good. It's all on track. We're, you know, things are happening where we want them to be happening. Date-wise, yeah, not actually that far away from the date that I originally spec'd a year ago. So I'm not surprised that we haven't quite hit that date, but I am kind of surprised that we haven't overrun it by miles and miles. So it's all good. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then the red subscribe button's down below, and we've got more of these coming, and there's going to be some new stuff happening.